This is the Louie T Network.
In the lab room.
Exclusive.
Welcome. You are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Quick program update. Had a lot of people asking me when was the mock draft coming out. And I've explained this 1,000 times, but I know that people are so anxious. They're so excited about the draft. This is one of the best times of the year because everybody's got a chance right now. Everybody's excited about what the future may hold for them and players that they may draft onto their football team. And so it's an exciting time. And I know that everyone wants to know, when's the mock coming out? When's the mock coming out? And I've been swatting people away like flies and giving them the Dikembe Mutombo finger. Not yet. And so we've gotten past free agency now for the most part. And now the next thing to look forward to finally is the draft. And so want to talk to you briefly about the draft because to me, this is an event. And my mock draft isn't something that I'm going to do a 2.0 or a 2.5. I sucked last year. I'm going to be very candid with you. Last year, I was terrible. And it was because I rushed to put a mock out to satisfy everybody. And I wanted to, have it out there in the public eye so I could say, hey, I told you so. But what happened was it backfired on me. I put my mock out way too early. Some things happened leading up to the draft. I was ill prepared and I wasn't going to change what I had already put out. And so I just allowed it to stay what it was. And I went 0 for 32. I went 0 for last year. Not a single pick in the first round went the way that I projected it to go. And that was embarrassing. Now, not embarrassing from a standpoint of, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't get anything right. It was just embarrassing that I pride myself on doing this and to not get one single pick correct, that's pretty hard to do. So I said that I was not going to make that same mistake this year. I was going to take my time. I was going to comb through all of the evidence, all of the things that teams have been doing, going through the process, looking at these players because there are several different factors that go into where these players are going to end up. And I still need to do evaluations for myself, not just because I want to get these picks right on my mock draft, but just because I want to know who these guys are as football players. And so I've watched a lot of these guys throughout college, but I want to actually hone in on them and look at their play on the field, their technique, things that they're going to have to translate to the NFL game in order to be successful. And so I'll be doing that over the next couple of weeks. I've been doing that already. And so April the 8th, mark your calendars, April the 8th, which will put us exactly 1 month out from the 2014 NFL draft. April the 8th, I will release my mock, my one and only mock draft. And things will change between then and now. I still feel like a month is really far out to release a mock draft. Really, the best time to release a mock draft is like 2 or 3 days prior to the NFL draft because everything is basically concrete by then. No one's going to up and change the way they feel about a player a week leading up to the draft. Most likely you already know who you're going to select if that player is in fact there. But for the sake of everyone getting a chance to comb over my mock draft, to pick it apart, to tell me that I'm wrong here, I'm wrong there, I'll release it early, a month early, April the 8th, 7 p.m. sharp. This mock draft will be up. And like I said, it's going to be an event. It's not just a mock draft. It's not everybody else's mock draft. It's me, Louie T, here in the lab room releasing my mock draft. So April 8th, 7 p.m., the mock draft will be released. I'm thinking about making it a 2-part series. I don't know if I want to do that yet because, I can get a little long-winded and I can talk. And I want to explain each and every single pick in the first round and why I think these picks are going to go the way that I think they're going to ultimately end up. So if the video gets a little long, I'm going to break it into two parts. Part 1 will be April the 8th at 7 p.m. Part 2 will be April the 9th at 7 p.m. the very next day. So if it is a two-part series, you'll know. If not, you'll have my whole entire mock draft available for your viewing pleasure April the 8th at 7 p.m. So be there or be square or circle or triangle or whatever. It'll be there whether you watch it as soon as I release it or you watch it a week later or you watch it a day before the draft. I could care less. I just want you to enjoy it. People are going to watch it. They're going to watch it again. They're going to watch it after the draft. I had a guy come back last year and say, man, you didn't get one single pick right. And all I could do was laugh last year. And so I'm going to make sure that that does not repeat itself this year. I expect to be a lot better. I can't get any worse, right? I expect to be a lot better come this year's draft. I expect to be a lot, light years better than I was a season ago. And I've got a lot more footing. I've got some experience under my belt. Last year was my first year actually really going full bore into the draft. And last year, that was my first ever mock draft. Okay, I'm not a mock draft guy. I wasn't before. I am now. But I wasn't before. I used to just watch the draft like everybody else. Didn't put together mocks or anything like that. I was more concerned with, what my team was going to do. But being that I'm a versatile guy, I love football, love the National Football League and all of its splendor. And I love to look at all the teams as a whole, not just my specific team or one specific team in the league. I'll be giving this mock draft, and I'll hope to hit a home run this year because last year I struck out, and I struck out miserably. So this year I expect to do much, much better. Remember, April 8th, 7 p.m. sharp. So that's my quick update for you guys. I thank you for joining me here on the program. You know how this goes. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Thank you for joining me. See you April the 8th.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Draft zone.